we on then?
There we go.
There we go. We're actually recording enough. So
there we go. There we go. I didn't even get to press the button.
Oh, you won't get to press the button. It's still
pressing it at the end. I'm pressing it.
Yeah, no.
It's happening.
No more rock paper scissors.
No more rock paper scissors. But yeah.
It's terrible traffic on the way through. That was terrible.
Terrible traffic. That was.
What time is it? We're on 8 o'clock now. 5 to 8.
I know that's a lot later than last time.
I know. Started at 7:30.
But yeah, we get into it.
Yeah.
Episode 2. So
episode 2 of Kush and Cal's
here
Corner.
we are, episode 2.
Oh yeah,
we're into it.
Like an intro. Hi guys, welcome to episode 2 of Kush and Cal's Corner.
That's it.
It feels nice.
Yeah.
So covered a lot of stuff in the last episode.
Yeah, we sure did.
Just another episode about sort of
more how we got started on the brand and stuff like that, and some of the things we've faced and went through. The last one I feel was a bit more about us. Yeah. And a bit more about kind of how we met each other, and then our background and a light touch on the brand. So might dive a bit deeper into that. So yeah, at the start, like how do you even right at the start, obviously the first kind of thing you think is building the brand and stuff, and then you go, right, I'm going to need some money to get this started. Do you know what I mean? Of course.
the juice that gets it all flowing.
The juice that gets it flowing, exactly.
So money funding.
Yeah, how did you get started with that?
Well, do you know Business Gateway? I've spoke a bit about it.
Yeah, so I've heard of them, definitely.
Yeah.
Looked a bit into them. I've never really dealt with them or
you've been to them or anything. I wonder
I've
if
never
it's
really contacted them.
I wonder if it's an Edinburgh thing or something. I don't know.
I don't know, it might be.
Because
I think
I've been to them for a couple of things. I really wanted to start a car wash when I was young.
Yeah.
I saw this bit of land just at the back of Quarry Park. I've told you about that bit of land. I was going to buy it anyway. I went to Business Gateway and they just sort of listen to your idea and they're like, okay, well, what do you want to do? So you go to them and say, right, I want to start a car wash. Or in my instance, recently I want to start a clothing brand. And to be honest with you, I can't remember how they do it, but I think what they do is they recommend you to someone who handles your case. They handle your case and then they say, what is it you want to do? You want to go into fashion, so they direct you to your typical fashion stuff,
right? Okay,
which I'd imagine would be working towards an SQA or
right. Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, actually get a qualification in fashion, right? Okay.
So I went to them just to start off, and they recommended funding, and that's why I went through with it. There was a bank they referred to, and I will get the name for it.
So was it a case you had to do the course to get the funding or anything, or you could just go for the funding?
No, it wasn't like that. It's you had someone who would email you, and there was a few Zoom meetings, and the guy's name was Bryce, and he was he just sort of directed to me to where other people got their funding from.
Right. Okay.
So I went on the website, I did what the website asked, and he sort of just kept up to date with it. But as far as I remember, that was sort of the only involvement I've really had with Business Gateway.
Right.
Because once they referred me to the loan people, I was dealing with them.
Yeah, so were they pretty good in getting that done anyway?
Yeah, they were actually. They made me do a business plan.
Right, okay.
Which I'd never done before.
Yeah.
But you just go on their website and they've got templates for it, and you just input your data, obviously change chocolate bars to t-shirts or whatever it was. I can't remember the specifics. But I just put my t-shirt stuff in, sent it on. They would come back and make a few changes, being you're not going to make 2 million in the first month or whatever like that.
What do you mean? What do you mean I'm not going to make 2 million in the first month?
That's what I was like. I genuinely was like, I'll get this many t-shirts in and then sell them, and then get this many more t-shirts in and sell them, and then
easy as that.
No bother. That. Boom, and here we are. Halfway there. So they came back and gave me the funding, and I got a fair bit of money directly straight to my bank account, and the process took maybe a month and a half or something like that.
Ideal. It's not even too long, to be honest.
It was one of those ones that the interest rate on it is something over the 3 years, it was something like £125.
Oh, wow.
So it's for
really
business people, and I will get the name at some point and direct that out, because I feel like that is one of the biggest things. Yeah, it's useful to have that, because it is one of the biggest things is to get most of your dreams going. It takes a bit of money, and it's just
definitely
it's the biggest obstacle to come by, because it doesn't grow on trees, unfortunately. So I got my funding from there.
Nice.
And then went from there. But I guess what I did with that we'll go into a little bit later. But what about you? Did you?
Yeah, so I kind of a good kind of time. So I was changing from a job where I had to drive 20-30 minutes every day there and back out in Livingston, and then I changed for one a lot closer to my house, just in the centre of town. Like kind of, I need to get like a 10-15 minute bus ride in and out rather than driving for like half an hour.
Right. Okay.
So I thought, do you know what? I'm getting the bus into town every day, Monday to Friday, and I'm paying for my car that I'm using.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, every so often at the weekend. Yeah, exactly. Well, I wouldn't even drive it into town. You know what I mean? And then you're not using it because you're getting home from work and I'm busy working on this or working on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so sold the car, and I thought, right, with this money, I'm going to actually do something worthwhile. And this was at the time that I was really kind of thinking about starting the business and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So all kind of worked out at the
had a bit
time
of money
that,
and do what you
actually like
do.
I had a holiday booked and stuff, and I had this coming out, and I like, you know what I mean, from like paying for my car, I was whatever, and like the money was kind of going away, and I was like, right, you know, I said to myself, I'm going to do something when I sell my car and with this money, and
so
I was like, so easy to the money just goes, you know what I mean, and then I thought the whole point of the brand retrospect, I'm not going to look back and think, oh, well, I wish I'd done this with the money. Boom, let's make retrospect, you know what I mean?
Yeah, good idea. Good idea. Yeah. It's hard not to just spend the money on like a new pair of shoes.
Everything, and it goes so easy because you don't even think about it. Like you just go walk by the shops and get yourself a little drink here.
You're like, there's nothing. I've got like 800 or so. I don't know.
Whatever it is,
whatever it is.
You know what I mean?
Even,
and it goes so quickly, and then
isn't that the story of life?
So so I thought, right, actually do something with it, and then Retrospect was born.
That's good.
But so when you got your money, what was the kind of first? What was the first type of things you were doing with it? Like,
so
start a business.
Now that I'm remembering about it, when I got the money, I was actually took me and my son Nathan. We were away in Turkey.
Nice.
So I was away in Turkey, and it was like coming to the end of the holiday, and I was like, oh my god, I've got $3,500 in the bank. Like I've got loads of money there for starting a business. So I had to be super sensible, and as soon as I got that,
you're going on a 5-star holiday in Turkey.
Oh yeah, I was extending my week, and we got all inclusive. No, we didn't actually enjoy Turkey. It was cold.
Cold?
It was cold, mate. I swear, mate. It was like 16 degrees.
It's always the way, isn't it?
It was terrible.
1 week you go.
I don't understand. I've told everybody that story, and they barely believe me. No. Anyway, so I came back from holiday, or even when I was on holiday, I'd already had things in the making to get my orders ready. I was just literally looking for the funding and waiting for it. So I had everything in place. I think by this point I'd designed all my t-shirts, and I'd ordered the material. I'd had the embroidery booked. I'd had everything written down to me, what was happening, a price breakdown. So I was just waiting for the funding while the order had been put in. So as soon as that was in, I was transferring money over.
Just straight away getting that order.
Just getting it put in because he'd already ordered it, and like I'd given my word. So I'd been sent videos.
You actually started making them stuff like that. And you didn't give him a deposit or anything like that, or
I think I must have done something like that. Something like that. And it wasn't like the first time I'd ever spoke to the supplier. I'd had many samples off him.
Nice,
we'd sent money back and forth, and he never sent me money, but
there we go. We might get into something about that.
No, it was all sweet. It was all fine. So everything was in place. So as soon as I got the funding for it, I was just like, right, send this money over and let's get them made. And then I'll have enough money to get. I had seven different t-shirts coming. And I think I had 110 of each coming.
Yep.
So 770 by my math.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Something like that.
That was intense because we're recording, and I thought, no, surely you're going to get the math right. Trust yourself. So got that ordered, and then that's what I did with the money. I had money in the bank, mate, but it was mostly on supplying, and then I had to go and get business cards. I was ordering stuff off a line like smoke grenades. For like shoots, which I've got 5 out of 6 still in the house.
Amazing.
I need to get back into the smoke thing. Should have used the sunshine, but summer's over. And just wee bits and bobs. Looking back, I bought a GoPro. And I haven't used it once for the business. So a few mistakes as always. But
that's it. Yeah, you learn You learn as you go, don't you?
Not money. Not money yet. But yeah, that's what I did. I was just getting that first order here, and then whatever money I had, I was like, right, we'll use that for something for the business. But mate, it's just like you were at the start. What would you use the money for?
Yeah, that's it for sure.
So I'm sure.
Like I was just saying there, I had the holiday, had this, and then before you know it, you're like, right, hold on a minute.
There was a couple of transfers to my personal account kind of thing, for sure. But yeah, what about, like, what did you do with the money?
Yeah, so
you sold your car and then just thought, right, this is it. How do I begin? Or did you? I
was kind of, so like I was saying, it was all kind of lining up perfectly. At the time, I got the design sorted, and I was like really wanting to get this clothing brand sorted, and I was like, right, some money, and I thought, you know what, just change the jobs, and it all kind of worked out perfectly. And so I initially wanted to get a t-shirt and a hoodie. That was my first kind of idea, a nice t-shirt and a nice hoodie. And then I thought, right, nowadays oversized is really quite the thing. And then I was like, personally, I can actually prefer like a bit of a tighter fit t-shirt and stuff like that. And then I thought, you know what, we're going to do both. So I got like a regular fit t-shirt and an oversized to like make sure everyone's happy. And I thought I'd do a bit of a slightly different design on each of them. And I wanted the oversized top to be nice and thick, because like, you know, that's like
that's what good quality.
That's
how I feel as well.
Exactly. One of my first products, I want it to be good quality, nice thick material. Staying in Scotland as well with the weather, you know.
Yes.
You want it to be
thick.
Exactly. So I wanted that, and then I wanted the regular fit to be a bit thinner, more for like a kind of everyday wearing it indoors, outdoors, like, you know what I mean? But kind of versatile t-shirt, and then the oversized more kind of thicker with that idea. And then what happened was I ordered both styles, and then they both came and they were the same thickness.
Right. Okay.
So that was the first issue, and I was like,
one was supposed to be thicker than the other on an oversized fit, and then just a sort of nice not muscle fit, but just like a regular, more regular fit.
And that was maybe slightly thinner. So they both came the thinner material, because he thought that wanted them both the same material. I explained to you.
Yeah.
I wanted the oversized one thicker, this and that. So obviously the issues you go through. So I turned it into a positive, and I did order another load of the oversized ones with a thicker material.
Okay.
And it did come, and it was a lot thicker, a lot nicer, exactly what I wanted. And I was like, could have just done this the first time, but we move on.
So like essentially you put your catalogue up from 2 to 3 by accident.
And it actually turned out good, because like I actually gave one to my barber, and he was like, that honestly, mate, like I'm wearing this in the shop, and it's too good quality. I'm roasting. I was like, oh, well, funny you say that. I've actually got a lightweight one too.
There we go. Yeah.
So it's good.
I wonder if he went back and got that.
That's it. I know. So I got that, and that's why I did my first order. I got the t-shirts. I got the oversized, the regular fit, and I also got my hoodie. Not this one at the moment. This is this is an exclusive little sample hoodie. This one.
I like that with the middle bit.
I've got really like a middle embroidery there.
A few times
so
that'll be next production then, maybe.
That's it. So on my first hoodie, I got went for like puff print style design of the R logo on the front, and then my classic little face in the back.
Fantastic hoodie. I've said it a few times, and I don't know if I'm biased or not, but honestly, it's one of the best hoodies I've ever had.
Unreal. I'm so glad.
I love it. I love it.
That's I've got really good feedback on hoodies, and honestly, I'm not even joking. I think I've only got about 6 or something left of the original print hoodie. So this is why we're getting the new samples in, and hopefully get a different one. With it, going to go with embroidery and stuff this time.
Promote it and stuff, aren't you? Because it's like, kind of like having a photo shoot with Dave or something like that.
That's
used to like not even something like that. Like it's totally random, but see when he's pointing the camera at you. It's so hard not to look at the camera.
I know.
That's where you're supposed to look. Like I'm looking at you right now. But see, when Dave's got a camera, it's hard to not look at the camera.
I know.
And now I'm mentioning it, I'm pure side-eyeing the camera.
That's it. Like, oh, what? He's looking at me.
But it's funny that you say that. Like, the problems with suppliers. Because I actually have something like that, because I was only meant to have 5 t-shirts. So
and they're all different colours and stuff.
That's right. So they're all 2-tone colours. For example, I've got a pink body one with a logo on it, and then a black lip around the neck and around the arms, which just gives it a nice little outline. I think it's different. I think it's cool, and it
does look really cool. Honestly,
even right now, I'm actually wearing a retrospect hoodie underneath.
There you go.
My crew neck whooshy. I always have done that. Have like a hoodie underneath and a jumper on top or something. I don't know what it is. It's because it's Scotland. It's freezing.
That's it. We're
literally outside the door, jittering, waiting to open up the studio doors. So I chose so many different colours, and I was sending Pantone is that how you say
like a Pantone color palette?
Yeah. So it's like your color, your code, everything. Like, you can't mess this up. This is the color and the code I've given you.
Yep.
But I messed up, and it was my fault. It must have been when I sent them all through. I didn't have the brightness on my phone up for when I had the navy one.
Yep.
So instead of navy and yellow, I got purple and yellow. So I still made the navy and yellow.
Yep.
And I'll be honest with you, the purple and yellow is one of the best sellers.
Oh, there you go.
Like, they are. Like, I think it's...
I'm not going to lie, it's probably one of my favourites of the colours.
It's
maybe biased because my favourite colour is purple, but...
Nice, there you go. In the background, I see that. Yeah. Very good. Very good. So supplier issues, man, and it looks like we've managed to turn them around.
That's it, for sure.
That's definitely a good thing that we've managed to get extra things on our catalogue from that.
Yeah, definitely. It's like one of the big things, you know what I mean, when you're facing any kind of issues, like, it might be an issue at that time, and like, honestly, when I got that, I'd received that and I felt them and I was like, this is, you know, I even got scales out and I was weighing them the same time. I was like, honestly, and I was just like trying to do everything, and I was like trying to work it out, be like, right, if I cut a 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre, it's meant to be this many grams per square metre. Does that mean this? Trying to work it all out and being like, honestly, this is not what I ordered.
And then it's like, you know, you're not getting a refund for it or anything like that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, actually, he was really nice. He did give us a bit of a discount on the kind of other order and stuff like that, which was great. And it's like, that's one of the good things as well. You know, it shows you, I'm looking to have a good business relationship here with this supplier, and he's obviously thinking the same, rather than, you know, you get some of the ones I've dealt with where it's like, no, like, I'm not moving on this, I'm not budging on this, I'm not doing on that, and it's just...
And there's ones that don't actually reply, like the ones that, like...
Even that other order we got into with t-shirts, we done a kind of collab t-shirt together, everything like that, and honestly...
we had an event on it.
Yeah, so we could even go into that event at Candy Bar as well.
Yeah.
So that was probably one of the best events, or one of the better events we've done as well.
Before we get started, we should say that we did order t-shirts from a supplier for this event in what was that, May?
Yeah, something like that.
May or something.
May or June,
and like, this one had all the looks on Instagram, had all the stuff like that.
Yep.
Replies to messages every 3-4 weeks.
Yep.
Still not got that t-shirt.
Yep.
Still not got that t-shirt.
Honestly, you look at his Instagram, and he's like, as if it's posting stories every day, all these new products, all these this. He's got warehouses here, warehouses there, and you know what I mean. And you think you can trust these kind of people, and then you know, it's just some of the lessons you learn along the way.
The ones that look most professional have been the hardest ones recently.
That's it, honestly. And you get the ones with like just a couple of thousand followers or whatever on Instagram, and just like a small business, and they're amazing. You know what I mean? And
like they contact you as well, kind of thing, and you try them out, and then get a few samples and stuff.
Sure.
And, but yeah, we did have an event on at Candy Bar.
Yeah, that was good.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Really cool.
That was a good event. We got invited down. We had a DJ sorted. Shout out to Antonio.
Yeah.
Antonio Martoni.
That's it.
Looked after us in Candy Bar. Yeah, we had a raffle on and everything. I don't know what was the highlight of that night for you.
So yeah, definitely that was one of the biggest things was, you know, the timeliness. We had to get everything there on time. See, when we were organising that, it was like us organising the event. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we had to make sure that we had like personalised menus with all our kind of different drinks. We had names on the drinks, and we had our own kind of cocktail list.
Our own menu for it and everything.
Yeah, we got that. We got like kind of personalised sweets and things like that for the event. We had flyers. See, even like leading up to it, the week or the two weeks before it, the amount of times that we went out with flyers, and like we were posting stuff on our stories on Instagram, and just trying to build hype for it. And it was like that kind of attentiveness, like trying to get everything to detail, and like. That kind of taught us a lot. I think I feel like that was a really good kind of experience, and I learned a lot from it. Really that was probably the best thing about it. The amount I learned just taking away from that, and like you know, going in there and like speaking to the bar staff, getting them and our stuff as well. There was a couple of them wore the hoodies and t-shirts and that, and it was pretty cool. Really cool event.
That was a good event. I would say the highlight was definitely getting ready for it. Then
for sure,
it was good fun in there. It's stressful running about, but all we were there to do was talk about the brand, and that's all we did all night. It was just so loud in there sometimes that the next day my voice was gone.
In
these kind of events.
I know. It's good fun.
It's great fun. I just never saw myself. I know everybody says that about everything. But I never saw myself looking to promote club nights. It's not even. It's not like a club. It's more like a bar. But like just trying to like promote them, being like cocktails and all that. Like
it's like you kind of put like. You have to kind of wear every shoe, like being like starting your own business. You know what I mean? You go from one day being the designer, and the next day you're being the marketer, like the promoter. Then you know what I mean? You're being the businessman, the CEO, putting the CEO hat on, doing this. Then you're like, you know, you're trying to do everything at once.
Yeah, you're like that. You're trying to do girl with the shots running around the club after it as well, talking about your brand. That's what I feel.
You're running around like that, handing out business cards. Oh, anyone want a little flyer? Oh, I don't do that. And then the next day you're sitting, you know what I mean, editing videos. You're a video editor, and it's like you have to just kind of take everything on, and the amount you learn from it. Honestly, it's one of the greatest thing I've ever done, the best thing in my life. It's like such a good, so much fun, and honestly,
having like the sort of like behind the scenes access as well is really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Not many people can say they've done like went to the back of candy bar.
That's it. Yeah, even just like, small things like that. It's
like yes, we're here because of this brand, and that's cool.
We're sitting in the back trying to
steam clothes and all
get
that.
Letters out for the signboard and everything, and we're searching through all these letters.
So
and
it's like one of those boards that you slip the letter on one by one, and we had like maybe like 250 letters to sieve through to find retrospect X whooshy.
Yeah.
Spelt the way they are.
Yeah.
It was it was tough. It was good fun. That's what
it's
about as well. We need to do more events like that, which we have that one coming up. We might as well mention it on the 27th of September.
27th of September up in Perth.
Yeah.
We've got our first pop-up shop.
Yeah. Yep. It's the Bank.
The Bank, yep.
The Bank Bar and Beer Garden.
That's it.
I believe is the official title.
That's it, up in Perth.
Up in Perth. So 27th will be there from 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale now. It's not like we're just going along to it, so be exciting.
Cool.
So more events like the candy bar thing.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. That's more of a success story. But I mean, we should probably talk about things like jumping onto like how to navigate social media. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was tough as well. You know, like the first time trying to even. Obviously, you're making your Instagram account, you're setting it all up, then you're trying to make your Facebook, all this. What am I first? And then you're trying to work out your Facebook, and then you're trying to connect them together.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
That's a nightmare. Then if you've got another Instagram account, then that tries to connect to it instead, and then then
you're posting your clothing brand on your
personal one, then you're so confused.
But it was like you wanted to post that, and you thought about it. You thought everybody was going to see it, and then you post it, and it's gone to that profile, and you're like, it's a nightmare getting these things set up.
And the worst part is like trying to actually, as well, this pixel, that Facebook pixel. And it's like you're trying to put that in, and
I've heard you say this when we were saying what we talk about for episode 2. I don't even know what a Facebook pixel is, mate, but I know that I need it, and I've not got it.
It's like that bit of code that you just put into your website that kind of tracks stuff, but it's just it's a pain. It's everything. It's so many different things that are just you don't even think you need to think of, and like
it's like a Fiverr job.
Yeah, honestly, and we were sitting looking on Fiverr, finding somebody to do this or somebody to do that, and it's like...
So Fiverr is like a, what do they call it, a freelance website.
Yeah.
So say you need a Facebook pixel, which I do, and I found this guy on Fiverr, and I had Facebook.
Yep.
And another thing that happened, obviously, is that I don't know how, but it got hacked, and I'm currently locked out of my Facebook. But it's not like a locked account; it's still active, it's still going, but I can't get into it, or I can, but I can't make any changes because I'm not admin. And there's it's called like Aura Business Marketing Suite or something like that.
There we go.
That?
Like, who's
They've
that?
got admin of my Facebook page, so I've got somebody that I'm messaging on that website who can help me out with this sort of thing.
Yep.
I'm getting confirmation emails through and stuff like that. So he's working on it. I'm getting the Facebook pixel. One nightmare.
That's it. Yeah. So sorting all that stuff up at the start was just.
You need it though. It means everything at the start.
Yeah,
as well.
definitely.
It's where you get your following and stuff.
You can track everything that's been in your store and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
that was a pain.
There's a whole load of that still going on for me, unfortunately, as well, which is it's so annoying.
But so go on from that.
Just got stresses about like orders. That's what I've been thinking about, is stressing out about the orders, what we've been through about that.
Yeah.
And when you say, what did you do with the funding? When I first started my business, when I say things were clicking into place, what I mean by that was I was having the idea.
Yep.
And then this happened, that happened, and I was like, oh, now I've got a design. And then this or that happened, and then I met somebody, right?
Yep.
And he said to me, I was drinking in a pub in Gorgie. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I was there. His name is Fahad. Okay. So I met Fahad, and he knew a supplier. Mm-hmm. He spoke about getting an import license for garments. Mm-hmm. Was talking about talking
the talk, all that.
Yes, literally talking the talk. And I got pretty close with him for maybe like 3 months or something, I would say.
Yep.
So we would meet up and we would talk about business. We would talk about what I needed, the stuff that maybe like, I don't know, I didn't realize there was like a big following for people who wanted to start up businesses, really.
Yep.
This was just more like an organic thing for me at the time. So he taught me about GSMs. He taught me about fittings, how to make things, what's required, who you need, separate factory for this or whatever.
Yeah.
I really didn't have a clue. He helped me out about knowing something more than me and knowing an actual supplier. Mm-hmm. So for a while it was like, right, I want this sample. I'd drawn it out to him on a bit of paper and I'd showed him it. We'd gone through, he'd phoned them up back home and translate. Mm-hmm. So he would show them the pictures, we'd take pictures, and it would go like that. And it's all written down in pencil. Wow. Like we wrote everything down and all that. And I ended up speaking to the supplier because I was like, he does speak English. So I ended up speaking to the supplier directly. He's over in Bangladesh. Mm-hmm. So I started speaking to him directly and handling it and stuff like that. And Fahad was doing things in the background and everything and talking that talk.
Yeah.
And then it came to a point where he was going to go fly back over and check on the products.
Right.
But he was going back over to visit family, and it was nothing really to do with me.
Right.
It was just like, oh, you're going over, this, that, and the other. Yeah. So when he was going over, rather than like transfer, it was something like the final payment and the shipping cost for the goods. Mm. He was going over at that time, and I'd said, take this, I'll transfer the money to you. Once you get there, ship everything out, everything will be handled.
Yeah.
So it's a long story. There was a whole raft. He was heading back and he was like, no, I've not got the products with me. And I was like, well, where's the money?
Yeah.
Because it was like 1,000 to 1,200, something like that.
Wow,
it was like a decent bit of money.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I did it. I just thought maybe like the exchange rate would be better or something. And
thinking if you just gave him the money, then that's it.
That's
done.
It was done. He over with it.
Yeah,
that was that. And there was probably a bit of like persuasion maybe or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Saw him as a friend at the time. Mm-hmm. So the story was he was heading back and he was like, all the products have been burnt.
Yeah.
Right. He said there's a fire in a warehouse and all the products have been burnt. Wow. He sent me a video of a warehouse on fire. So I developed a relationship with my supplier that I've used for pretty much everything, except like a few samples that weren't right before, and in between I'd tried other samples to see if I did have the best supplier.
Yeah.
So I was messaging him and I was like, what's going on? He was kind of acting a bit funny with me. So later on, my supplier and me were speaking and I was like, how did they get burnt? What happened?
That's
like
mad.
This. I don't believe this at all. Like you've not managed to get my stuff burnt. And he was just honest enough to be like, dude, I can't lie to you. I've been acting a bit funny. But what's happened is Fahad's taken the money.
Wow.
He's brought as much as he can carry back in his suitcases. None of his personal possessions. He's just brought as much as he can carry back. And he's a liar. He's lying to you. And I was like, well, I know. So this is just one of the biggest disasters that I faced.
Wow.
And unfortunately, you don't get anywhere by not trusting people. Mm-hmm. But you've got to be careful who you're trusting.
Yeah, that's a big lesson to know, who you can and can't trust. And
so, I mean, the success story is, and the thing that doesn't make it so heartbreaking is that I believe every dog has its day.
Yeah.
And I managed to get every penny back.
Yeah, there you go.
I just managed to get it back. He paid every penny back.
Yeah.
And still to this day, I haven't spoke to the boy in a while, but still to this day, he denies everything.
Yeah.
And that they were actually burnt, and the products that I'm selling now aren't my original products. But it's crazy. So that's just like something mad. And I'm sure you've got a story that's something that's heartbreaking.
100%.
It's just money, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Well, literally, like you were saying there. So after I did get those t-shirts all sorted, I had my lightweight, my heavyweight, everything. I actually did pretty decent when I started out with the sales, and got through a good chunk of the first kind of initial stock I had, and I thought, amazing, right, okay, this is how it's going to go. And then I was like, right, what did I do all the time? I started wearing hats. When I went to like, after high school and stuff, I was like always wearing hats.
Right, okay.
I was like, okay, right, let's make some hats. I want to make my own hats. So didn't like the way some of them sat, and like, you know what I mean? And then if you're wanting to get a decent one, you need to pay a couple of £100. And
you came out in that hat, do you remember? And does this hat look funny? Honestly, and you looked to the side and it was just like bigger than a rhino's horn. It was hilarious.
And that was a decent
hilarious.
hat. And
and
honestly, let's say just
a weird shape.
So then I thought, right, amazing.
Did they not see that before they chucked it out there?
Surely, but then some of them are, it's just fashion. It's the way it's meant to hit set, and it's the way it's meant.
Surely not. Have you read reviews on that specific shape or anything?
No, I can't say I have. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make one that I like.
My own. Yeah.
So so I designed the hat. Got like kind of nice embroidered print on the front, and then I did like a kind of 3D embroidery around it to kind of make it pop more. And then I'm going to go for like a full material distressed at the front hat with retrospect written at the back as well. And then I also wanted to do, so that one's going to be like a full material. And then I've got another one that's like a trucker cap that's half mesh. And then we're going to go for the retrospect on the front again with like the 3D embroidery. But I'm going to make that one white. And then I'm going to go for like a purple kind of logo on the other one, and then I'm also going to get some beanies and stuff like that in. I thought, amazing, right, this is what I'm going to do. So I put in found another supplier. I was chatting away to him. It was great. Ordered a sample came up. It was a bit expensive for the sample, not gonna lie. It was about £50 just for one hat.
Oh, amazing.
You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what?
$50 for a hat's a lot.
Like, you know what I mean? Even for like a designer hat that you buy, like, it's because you need to set up the printing.
Sure.
You know, like
I know. They need to set up the printing for one thing when you run 50 or for one electric.
Exactly, that's it. So ended up paying that, and I'm so impressed with the quality of them. Like the hats, they're actually made. Like some of them are made in Milan and in Italy. They're made there, and then they're embroidered down in London, and they're like really great quality. Honestly, they could compete with your top of the range hats, and I got the design perfect, and I was like, right, amazing. After a few back and forwards, and then boom, 1 month goes by. Okay, how's the hats going on?
So at this point, you've found a new supplier for hats. It's different from your t-shirt supplier.
Yep.
And you've put an order in with everything for.
I basically I've talked to him for a couple of months at this point, and I've got a sample from him.
Okay.
I've been chatting away to him. He's a good guy. So I think, and then so I do think he is, but like so issues happened with him. I don't know the ins and outs of it really, but I think something with the business went down. He probably had a bit too many orders, and you know what I mean, couldn't fulfill them all, and was so
still no hats.
One thing led to another, and it's been about 6-8 months almost, and still no hats. So
that's two suppliers that
and
are falling behind on orders that have been paid for. Which is so sad.
And it's so annoying, because it's like, you know, that was the profit you've got from that first drop. You're on a big high. You're like, boom, I'm ready to go. Got the shoots planned for the hats. I've taken photos of the samples. I've been getting people excited by them, and people are ready. Like, oh, where are the hats? And then where are the hats? Oh, where are the hats? And then the 10 people that kept on messaging you where the hats are now only 5, and then there's only 2, and then there's only one guy just asking about the hats, like, and it's you.
I knew that was coming. I do really want a hat, because I've tried the samples on and they are great.
Honestly, so I'm still working with him, and he's getting there now. He's back on his feet. He's sorted his stuff out, and he's getting through the big backlog of orders he's got, and I've got every faith. I was on the phone to him literally just even a couple of days ago as well. So
that's good.
They're coming, and we've got them coming out soon. But it's just one of the things in the, you know, something in the road, another hiccup.
It's something that we're just going to have to keep on persisting with.
Exactly.
And just keep on keeping at them.
And it's one of them, you know, if you let every single time one of them things happened throw you off track and make you stop, like, you know, even though I felt like a bit, that was me a bit, like, kind of paused. I'm like, I've got this money held up in the hats, then I've got no hats to show for it, and I'm like, I'm running out of my stock. I'm like, right, what do I do now? You know what I mean?
That's so stressful.
Pile in some more, get another t-shirt out. I've got another t-shirt design coming. In the meantime, you know, and you just got to keep pushing through it and keep doing your events with the stuff you have, and you know what I mean, and the persistence and like the showing up every day will get us there. So you know what I mean.
Like the social medias, you need to just keep on persisting with them, even though like at the start it's so, we've talked on it before how everything feels massive. You've got a picture, you've read the caption 100 times. You're like, you've eventually like
Googled what every word means 100
you're
making sure
it's perfectly spelled. Should I put a capital and all that? So anyway, you're looking at it and you're like, this is perfect. And then your social media, and I guess that's just like how all of us feel when you've got a picture of yourself and your personal one or whatever.
So,
to be honest, you do right or whatever, and then you post it and you're mostly for the business, you're like 3-4 likes, and you're checking it all the time, and it's annoying, but you just got to keep persisting with it. And like,
and then they do increase.
They do. Well, I mean, we were posting on TikTok all the time. I was posting all the time. And TikTok was one of the most heartbreaking ones. There was like one video that I think got 14,000 views. Which is, it's okay. I was so happy with it. So happy with it. And recently TikTok's kind of been the one over at Bushy.
That's it. Yeah, you've been doing good on TikTok.
Yeah, do you know what it is? Is that I feel like if you're going to be yourself, you're going to succeed in whatever you're trying to do.
100%.
Because you're being yourself.
That's it. That's the key.
So I just felt like I needed to delete all my content that I was trying to be cool in, and it was looking like I was on the streets drug dealing clothes. Like, I don't know what I was going for, but it was like streetwear. So I thought we'll go out on the streets and do it that way. But what I really wanted to do was talk to people. I wanted to see what people thought and get an honest opinion, face one of my biggest fears, which is not, it's everyone's biggest fear, going out and talking to people in the street. So I decided that I'm going to delete all my content and try something new, and just went out on the streets of Edinburgh, where I want it to be, where I want to sell it, to find my target market, to find the people who are interested in it, and asked everybody. The TikTok went so well, like it's like crazy views on it, and like I was out in Glasgow. Now obviously I'm from Edinburgh. I was out at SWG3, some mad event. It was so good. Unwind Events, I believe it was. Shout out. They were so good. And I was sitting in the casino after, and one eye's pointing down, one eye's pointing up. Like I was just waiting on the bus home back to Edinburgh, sitting in the casino, and this amazing guy just walked over, and he was just like, "Are you the guy from TikTok?" And I was like, yeah. Got speaking to him, really nice guy. And I just felt so amazing by that I was getting recognized on something like TikTok.
Such a cool thing,
It's such a cool thing, and it's just made me feel like all the stresses we were talking about just there, the Facebook pixels and all that, they're going to be worth it in the end.
Exactly.
Because we just need to keep on persisting with our content.
That's it. It's just you need to show, like you were saying, show up every day and get it done.
For sure. Just keep on going at that.
Yeah, keep trying new things and keep persisting on. That's it. That's why we're starting the podcast and stuff as well, you know?
Yeah, because we've got to document this. And
that's it, definitely.
It's one of those things that I don't expect it. Well, I did at the start with my whole business plan. I was like, boom, overnight success, 100 t-shirts a day, and then I'll get another 1,000 million t-shirts, and then I'll be doing it. But it's not as easy as that. And you just got to keep persisting at it, otherwise you're going to get nowhere. So, I think that eventually, if we keep going the way we're going, things are getting better and better and better. We're learning a lot more.
I know every single thing, like every different shoot we're doing, every different event we're doing, we're learning something new that we knew from the last one. And even every video I'm posting, every app I'm using. Honestly, it's like you always keep on learning something. It's great.
Yeah,
I'm excited. But yeah, we also were thinking to chat about your car story.
Oh yes,
that's it.
It's more of like another success story, which I'm absolutely delighted.
Let's go back into success stories.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Getting robbed of money is not fun.
It's not fun. So let's.
Yeah. So when I say electric car story, the story was that you know what it was? My car was no longer LES compliant.
Right.
So I had it in my mind. I drive into town quite a lot.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like, 30, 50 quid a time for a charge. So at the time I was like, do you know what? I'll just start cycling to work and I'll just get rid of my car.
Yeah.
So I got rid of my car. Thought I'll start saving money.
Yeah.
Don't know where it went, but I didn't start saving money.
Yeah.
Which is so annoying. So I didn't have a car, but I really had this idea that I was wanting to take my brand to like an outdoor level. Mm-hmm. So what I did was I organised a photo shoot in a place, it's up in Dunkeld. Mm-hmm. So probably like an hour and 15 minutes away, an hour and 20 minutes away from Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Got, I think it was 6 models in total, which is already too much for one car.
Definitely.
Especially when you don't have a car.
Yep.
So
too much for a bike.
Too much for a bike. Too much for a bike. Plus all the stock and all that as well. Like I had like boxes of clothes.
Yeah.
I'd planned to do a barbecue so that it was like you can do anything in Wushy because we absolutely could and we all did. But I had to get a car to transport these people from Edinburgh up to way past Perth, up to Dunkeld.
Yeah.
So what I did was I Googled what places do a 24-hour test drive.
Yeah.
Amazing. And it was Toyota that I'd selected, just the one at Newbridge. And I went, let's go for something fancy. So I walked in and I'm pretty sure like I dressed up for it as well, like put a polo shirt on or something like that.
Dressed up.
For me. So I walked in and I was like, yeah, I'm really interested, but I need like 24 hours in a car, especially if it's going to be £75,000.
Yeah.
And he was like, not a problem, just sign here, this, that, the other. So I'd never drove an electric car before.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was getting in for. I had no idea what I was getting in for. So first of all, amazing. Absolutely like driving a spaceship.
Yeah.
Didn't even know what was happening. There was cameras pointing down from above. And I was
jumped
like,
to light speed.
Jump to light speed, yeah. The thing is though, is that it did jump to light speed, but I didn't know how much battery jumping to light speed actually took. And I didn't know how to charge it.
They don't tell you that in Star Wars.
We should do this plug-in, mate. So yeah, I got this car and it was like, right, it's ready for the morning. I've got it now. It's a 24-hour test drive. Yeah. So I got it at like 7, 8 o'clock at night. They were just closing. And I was like, 24 hours, I'll be back tomorrow at 8 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So went, did the photo shoot. And before I did the photo shoot, I was like, I'm going to get this thing charged. I'll go to Sainsbury's where a charger is. And then I'll plug it in, I'll get all the barbecue supplies, and then I'll charge it up and go while I'm doing my shopping. It'll be charging, whatever. Got to Sainsbury's, 2 people charging their car.
Of course.
So I went and walked the dog, came back, still charging their cars. So I was like, shit.
Wasted all this time.
All the time, everything. So walked the dog, came back, charger was free, plugged it in. Took about 15, 20 minutes to figure out how you have to download an app. You have to unlock it from your phone. You have to this, you have to that, which I completely understand. Because if somebody steals or rips it out, like, nah, I need your charge, you'd be stuck.
Yeah.
Which I was. Didn't have much time, charged it up, picked up, I think it was 2 models from Edinburgh, and then went and got 3 models, must have been 2 other models, because that's 5 in the car. So I went and got them from Perth, and I'm pretty sure I dropped them off, picked them up from the same location. Now, when I say models, I mean like people that I didn't really know either.
Yeah.
So like they're expecting a lift there to be fed, do a photo shoot, lift back home, no problem. Should be simple. I was driving up for like an hour and I had like 30% left by the time we got there. Oh, no. And like I'd used a lot to get there. I can't remember the exact. And I was like, oh, look how cool this car is. Zoom.
Of course you
And that was just doing the battery non-stop. So I'll be honest with you, and I'll keep it short on this, but it was the best photo shoot I've ever done in my life.
Amazing.
It was so cool. Everyone was amazing. We had so many people there. I think people turned up as well, so we had like 9 people modelling for it. We let off one of those smoke grenades, that missing one that I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's where we let it off. Some of the best content that I've got comes from that shoot. It was a really good photo shoot, really, really fun photo shoot. And it was just amazing.
Yeah.
But then it comes to the time of driving that electric car back with 30%. So I get the models home in Perth, and I'm sat in a car with 2 people that I barely know, sitting in silence at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Great. 2 hours.
Knackered.
2 hours after I'm supposed to drop the car off.
Yeah.
right? 2 hours after the dealership shut, so I'm already 2 hours late, right? I'm running out of charge, and I just had to say to them, guys, I'm really sorry. I don't know where I'm going to get charged to get you home, but this thing's dying. It was like losing power and all that. So midnight, school night, sitting in the back of a convenience store in Kelty, charging up a car. Absolutely dying, mate. Like, I'm so sorry, guys. I'll get you home as soon as I can. Thinking, should I email Toyota being like, here, this 24-hour test drive's going to turn into a lot more than that.
48-hour test drive.
Something like that. Something like
I'm really keen on the car.
Yeah, I love it. I just couldn't stop using it. I couldn't stop using it. So I got them all home and still buzzing off it. Had a little bit of charge in the morning after our fast charge in Kelty to just drop the car off before work, get a driver to pick me up, go back to work, drop the car off, literally went, sorry I'm late, chucked the keys at them and ran away. And it was stinking of barbecue, stinking of fire. Probably had clothes hangers rolling up and all that stuff. So
oh gosh,
that's sort of like a success story that was.
It's one of them ones that you just. The way it turns for you, the way you make it turn round to be the best shoot that you just said the best shoot you've done, and it had that much stress in it. You know what I mean?
Hard. It was so hard, and like I was just putting a brave face on for most of it. But like, don't get me wrong, enjoying every second of it.
Yeah. And
then even cooking for like 9 people.
Yeah.
It's something that I love doing.
Yeah.
And I was getting content of us all chilling, eating barbecues while we were doing what I wanted to do. It was so good, mate. It was so good. That was one of the best things I've done. But I will say this. I'm not ready for an electric car. I'm definitely not ready for an electric car.
Yeah. Shout out Toyota for I give it.
Shout out Toyota, Western Toyota, Newbridge. Yeah. Absolute shout out for them. I appreciate that. It was tough.
It's so funny. I've actually got a funny, like, just actually came to me there. So where I actually hired a car as well. And it's same type of thing, you know. It's you've got everything planned, everything's going to go great. You've got the car, you just pick that up at this time. Go pick up the models at this time. Go pick up this. I was actually working that time with a few like rappers and stuff like that, Bentley, and, EX2 stuff like that. Sophia, nice. And then all that kind of stuff. We thought, right, what we'll do, we'll go get them. We'll do an amazing shoot in front of the Edinburgh Castle. We'll get this. So one of my best friends, he works in Mercedes. He managed to sort the kind of car hire and everything like that for us. Everything was perfect. Got the car, and then obviously, these guys didn't turn up here. These guys didn't turn up there. One of the models, like, wasn't ready. Oh no, sorry, I can't get you this. And then time goes away. Then the plan that you had to go do the shoot at the castle turns into, oh no, you're not even going to see the castle because it's dark and things like that. And then,
I hate that. Like,
honestly, you
just think, get
so many more things you need. So many more things you need to think of. Like, the lighting, this.
That's why photography is so beautiful.
Yeah,
because you don't know. Well, we don't know anything. I really wanted to get a photo shoot where the moon was in it.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, that would be a cool one, but that's difficult. But so did all that, and then it actually ended up, like you say, being one of the best shoots that I did, and it was really cool. I managed to get all the guys eventually turned up, and like you were saying, I think it's maybe something about just seeing so many people in your stuff at the same time. Honestly, I had about 8 or 9 people there as well, and we got some really cool shots, and we got these ended up going, right, you know what, that would look cool in front of the guy. Get a big cigar. Went in, got some cigars and stuff like that. Done some cool shots with the cigars. Done some stuff with. Honestly, it was turned out to be a really cool shoot. Something really different, and it was just like one of them ones that was just so unplanned, and it was so planned. Then it got so unplanned, and then things just fell into place again, and it just kind
of shows that sometimes it's not worth planning.
Exactly,
that's something that our photographer Dave, he kind of taught me. Now Dave's 20, I'm 29, and he's so wise.
So
I remember
wise.
the time that I asked him, I was like, "Why do you think you need to pee when you get nervous?" He's like, "Because your body goes into fight or flight mode, and you just want to lose weight so you can like get away quicker." And it was immediately, and I was like, "That's even if that's not true, I believe that more than anything. that's perfect." But I mean, Dave's such a fantastic guy. And
he's great.
The reason we even know him is because of his dad.
Yeah,
and we mentioned
that's a funny story,
Yeah, because out of nowhere, I got a message just saying, hey, really excited about your clothing brand. Can't wait to see your catalogue when it all comes out and see your development. I really feel like my son, David, can help you guys. So I was like, thank you so much for the kind words. And I actually reread the messages earlier. And I was literally like, thank you so much for the kind words. If there's anything I can do with assisting you to buy a t-shirt, please let me know. Thank you, Team Mushy. Something like that. So not even realizing what sort of connection I was getting into.
Yeah.
And then the next message down was, I've spoke with David. He's amazing. Thank you so much for aligning me with this guy. He's an angel. And I think that was just after the first photo shoot. So obviously this is how I met Dave. His dad messaged me, my son can help you. And we went for it. And I remember the first time I turned up, just jumped into a studio. I'd never been in a studio. The thing is that I'd always thought, I guess everyone just feels like they're beautiful to themselves, right? So I was always like, I'm waiting for this break. Someone's going to say, you'll be the perfect model. So I was like, right, cool. I'll model my own clothes. I'll model them. It's easy. I'll go into the studio. It's easy.
Done.
So I went into the studio and did it this, did it that, tried my best. See, when those pictures came back, honestly, there was such good quality, such perfect quality that I'd never seen myself in this kind of quality. So I guess like everyone else, like I hate my voice when I hear it, and I hated seeing the pictures of me. But that was the first shoot with Dave, and just he's a 19-year-old guy when I met him. He met me on a Sunday morning. He was fresh as a daisy. He was on time, early if anything. And he was amazing.
He's just so he's so on it. You know, he's so like everything he does. It's crazy. It's mad.
Like going to like events like the Candy Bar event, or even the thing you did the other night, where we were at Finnegan's.
Definitely. And he's just like one of them ones that you shout him any time and he'll do his best to get there on time, be punctual, and the quality he brings to the footage.
He's so present in what he's trying to capture that he's thinking of new ideas before you're like whispering in his ear as you're looking at the camera.
He's
like,
already doing it.
You're getting it.
And then like that last one at Finnegan's as well, some woman comes out of nowhere with a set of spoons.
God, what was that?
Right, and she's going, and Dave was obviously sitting there trying to get the photos, going up and down her with spoons and everything, and it was like, and he just, he just takes it in his stride, does it, and
his camera didn't move, but he turns around and goes, "What's going on here?" Like I don't know what it is, but see when she was doing it to us, and it was like, stop. And then she was doing it near the camera, and because it's near the camera, because of the audio or whatever, you don't want to hear spoons clacking on the camera,
especially not on the cameraman's head. And
I know, and you're literally like wanting to go, but then it's a situation and be like, get away from my cameraman. And then you're on the audio screaming it, so it makes it worse. That was so weird. But he just maintains composure, and he's like, we did something where I had a band and it was in the Fringe. Now people stop when music's playing. So many people around, and he's just down, not unfocused. He's just in there getting the angle, unfazed, walking in front of people, but being courteous at the same time. DD visuals, man. See if you need anything. He's really next level. Dave and Dom, he's unbelievable. Dom too. Dom's great as well.
It's so funny how you go through that. One day you just get a message from some guy, and you're like, and how it's turned into being such a massive thing that he's helped us out so much, and
you get so excited when he gives you a message because you're like, I'm getting some of this work. I'm about to see some of the work that we've put in.
That's it.
It's so classy. He's so good. David's so great.
It's funny, amazing the people you meet. Like doing this journey and stuff like that, and
it's another reason why we're podcasting this.
Another reason we're getting this on.
Even meeting the people who own the studio here.
Oh yeah, honestly, they're amazing too.
Driving through here, coming through here and speaking about their stories and their experiences, exactly where we want to be, and I'm so happy with that. It's really good being in this realm of meeting new people, and like you say, you need a photographer. You get a message about a photographer. Next thing you know, you're good friends with a photographer. And you get amazing content. It's just this. I'm happy with that.
That's it. So. Plenty more to come. That's it. We're just beginning, I feel. You know what I mean? This is a whole nother chapter as well, the podcast, getting everyone that we've met along the way, getting them on here and basically just, sharing our story with you guys and getting all your guys' stories as well, and just getting something cool.
Just to get started.
We've gone on almost an hour.
Is it?
Almost an hour.
Wow. 55 minutes. So we're nearly up at time. Have you got anything else?
What are we thinking?
Because I kind of wanted to just talk a little bit about how we in the next episode are planning on a guest.
Let's get into that.
I suppose
so we've got a few different options and things.
we've got a few ideas that we thought we could get somebody on who interests both of us and things. But I suppose there's no point in talking about that. We've kind of burnt through our time, but I feel like I covered all things. It's just such good fun.
Yeah. So there's loads of different people we're thinking of. Yeah. And we've got them all planned in. So it's just a case of working out who and when and how we're going to plan it out, and it'll be exciting. Yeah. Because
I think
cool to get everyone on.
I think it'll be really cool. It'll be different because the first episode, you guys heard about us.
Yep.
This episode, you really just heard about our failures and starting up businesses and how they can break your heart, but things that don't go to plan aren't exactly a failure.
And how you can turn them to be a positive. You know what I mean? All the things we face, basically just from the
start.
Well, not even everything we faced. That's just a light scratching of a few things we faced so far. And you know what I mean? It's just I feel like that's kind of what we've covered up here. And then next one we'll get some more people on and get their stories.
I'm excited because I feel like we've got a good few guests in the pipeline.
For sure.
And by the time this comes out, this one and then the next one, we'll have released the first one. So it'll just be an exciting time.
That's it.
Happy with Kush and Cal's Corner this week?
Yeah, I think that's another episode of Kush and Cal's Corner wrapped up.
That's nice, because a lot more is to come in the next episode. I'm happy as hell.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening, guys.
That's it. Thank you.
You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful night. And that's episode 2.
Episode 2. See you guys soon.